Okay, we're gonna put our faces on screen. Look at that. Look at that.
Yo. Hello, world. Welcome.
Hello!
Welcome.
Woo!
Welcome to
Degeneracy
Degeneracy
Live
Live.
is off the rails!
Ah,
Woo!
Oh, yeah, there we go.
We're gonna be watching some xanderbrand.
welcome to
Xanderbrand.
one
I
of the
love
most
Xanderbrand.
well thought out podcasts on the entire internet.
Of course.
We definitely knew that this episode was going to happen.
Today, and we definitely knew this was gonna happen more than an hour ago.
Also, for future reference, it is literally 9 p.m.
Or us 10 p.m.
You're just
10:07
roasting the
is
shit out of me right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You
So-
gotta look inward before you can project it outward, you know.
So this is Degeneracy Live. I'm Drake, and then we got Bronze and Aiden, and we're gonna start from right to left when the last time you saw your dad's penis was.
So, Aiden, you start.
I like that. Right to left. Last time I saw it when I was 4 years old at the swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't look,
Alright.
this thing, I gotta say I was impressed. But at the same time,
You respected it, but you were like, "That's not for me."
it's not for me. I mean, really, I didn't know exactly what it was in general. Why
But you
was
had
it
you
the
had
way
it you had an inherent respect for it, right?
Yeah, I had a little respect for it, so I'd say that's the last time I did it.
There we go.
Reasonable, yeah.
All right, Bronze.
Alright. My dad died 7 years ago. So I guess 7
Is this
years
real?
ago- Yes.
What?
I didn't know this. I've known you for so long.
So I guess that's a rough estimate.
Siri's telling me I'll give you Handy of the Year if you let me on the stream. I'm sorry, but you're an e-girl, so you can't do that. Actually,
Yeah, she
well,
doesn't
you're gonna text me fucking gives hand job. Is that it?
No women allowed.
That's
It's a very
persuasive, but
boys
no.
podcast.
Mm-hmm. Of course. I guess the last time I did was about 19 years ago, when I saw from the inside.
when you were conceived.
I saw from the inside there. I haven't ever seen it from the outside. So welcome.
Call
This
him.
is. I should call him. I should call him.
Anyways,
I nearly did, and then like the immediate like realization of like that's just not. No.
God, coward.
I am not an e-girl. I am analog. Put this in the chat so that we can have some funny interaction. Why are you doing this to me? She's texting me this, and it's like you're putting it where no one can see it. You're ruining the
Put it in
show.
the chat. Put it in the chat right now.
Put it in the YouTube live chat.
She says she's
the only way
she's
we
not an
make money.
e-girl. She's an analog girl.
Put it in the chat still. That means she
Put
talks.
that in the chat. Put in the chat. All right.
I don't believe she exists until
In the
she's in
chat.
the YouTube chat.
So, how do we set this up? How do we set up fucking Xander here?
I feel like obviously you should explain a bit of the backstory since it's first-hand account.
Of course. So, Xander was someone that I knew from, like, I think 10th grade chemistry. Or it might even be 9th grade. Or 11th grade. Okay, I'm actually thinking back to 2019. Whatever year that was that I was in school is when I knew him. Because that's when I did that prank where I was like Fortnite's down and I stormed out. Xander was in the class with me. So that's how I knew him. He followed me one day when I was like on my computer in class, and then I looked through, and he already had like 60 different accounts before then. This is like 4 years ago. And then a couple of years later, we were like, hey, you want to collaborate on some projects? You want to fund some shit? Hey, I've got this crazy idea for a game show. And then he's like, That sounds awesome. I like that idea. Let's do that. I really like this idea of depravity.
A spot on impression.
Yeah, he's got He's starting to lose it, but he's got that Charles Nelson Riley sort of vibe, you know?
Really
Yeah.
sounds like Doug Walker.
I'm basically the most self-aware person on the planet. But he did that, and then we were gonna do 8 episodes for like, I don't know, I think it was gonna be like a yearly budget of like $400 or something. This was after the first 4 were made. He's like, okay, I'll give you 400 for another 4, and it's like, okay, well that should cover a lot of the expenses on making the other 4, because there's a lot of expenses within Depravity with like getting people to drive in, getting the props for shit, doing all that. It costs money.
Did he tell you though, like the full amount?
He paid for, I think he paid for the foosball table that I destroyed in episode 3. He paid for a single light. He paid for these audio recorders here that I've got.
Okay.
And like very other menial stuff, so like maybe $300 worth of stuff.
He owes me like 200 for a laptop that I bought, so
Okay.
I'm waiting on that.
Well, I'm sure it'll be coming.
He paid you most, that's pretty good.
Well, he works 20 hours a week at Food Line. He's a very busy man.
Right.
He
He's
owes
very,
me
very
an
busy.
unblock on Twitter.
He does. For some reason, he's got me blocked on his main Twitter, but not his alt Twitter.
Yeah.
And he used to have me blocked on both.
He just has me on his one informal Twitter account.
Not the one that's managed by the agency, right?
Yeah. Not Joseph Alexander Simpson, but Joseph Alexander Simpson.
Of course.
They're different
Yeah.
people.
Of
He
course.
doesn't own both. Definitely not.
He doesn't have the rights to.
People.
He got suspended from. That was his excuse for this podcast episode taking so long. Is that he was suspended due to his behavior of striking my channel from his company, so he didn't have access to the server that was hosting this. Which, by the way, is on like this fucking website that I've never heard of. Instead of being on, he says he's gonna upload it to YouTube, and he's like, well, why didn't you just upload it to YouTube and then unlist it when you wanted it to come out? Check your goddamn chat, you little piss baby.
The company suspended him due to his behavior?
Yeah.
What the
Of course, right?
Bro. Oh
Bro.
my God, dude.
If I remember correctly, he called someone the N-word like 5 times in the
He
replies.
said it in
Something
rap
like that.
song.
Yeah.
Holy stream lag, Batman. You know what? Damn. You know what?
Very well thought out podcast.
You know what? Damn. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. We gonna watch this podcast?
We are gonna watch this podcast. I gotta fix this stupid shit because the chat ain't updating.
Okay.
It should work. What the hell?
I want to talk about my experience with Xander in this downtime.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Because
hear
it's
it.
funny. So, of course, Drake talked about Xander to me for a while as it was happening, because it was an amusing sight to behold, and I didn't really want to interact with it for a long time, until one day he tweeted out something about what even was it? Something about him needing his company to make the things that he does.
Yeah, and then you were like,
and then I sent him images these 3 videos are literally just you on a green screen. You don't need a company.
that was not xanderbrand. That was Create Indie. That was my other company. That was.
It was his personal channel, not the channel that is also just filled with him on a green screen or just him in his room.
That was Joseph Alexander Simpson, not Joseph Alexander Simpson.
Yeah. So then he blocked me. Unfortunately.
He blacked
and
you.
I still... Yeah. He did. Like I said, he's very racist.
When did you
and-
say this? Oh, you did say this.
This is just known, yeah. So
Use a bitch. What do you want me to do about it? All right, there's nothing I can do to fix it.
yeah.
I'm recording so I can upload. I want to get on VC so I can actually hear the conversation. That sucks. That sucks, man. I don't know what to
Too bad
say.
for you.
That
Watch the live
sucks.
stream. That's it.
That sucks, bro. That sucks.
Well,
Aiden,
yeah.
let's hear your experience with Xander before we start this shit.
Oh, I
Man,
wasn't
I
done,
knew
so-
Xander in.
Okay. Hang on. I'm sorry. I thought you were done, Bronze.
Yeah. The ending of mine isn't really funny. The last interaction I did wasn't like entertaining, but I want to talk about it because it makes me angry. So
Okay.
in like the heat of all of this, I was like, hey, if I want to talk to him, I got to get down on his level. So I decided I was gonna DM him like a pseudo interview and be as formal as possible and try to get some explanation for some of the things. And one of the questions was, he had mentioned somewhere that like, and I had found like receipts, email receipts somewhere on some weird website that for some reason he uploaded to the internet that he bought his legal team, which for a while we didn't know if it existed or not. He bought it through LegalZoom.
He bought it on the
LegalZoom.
dark web.
Yeah, a website called LegalZoom, and it wasn't really like a legal team, more like a guy he talks to who
Yep.
thinks he knows.
This
what
is
legal.
best case scenario, by the way, in that
Yeah, best case scenario. This isn't fully confirmed. But
the best
So-
case scenario is he paid for a legal Zoom account to talk to
Yeah.
somebody, to talk to like someone on Reddit that knows the
Yeah.
law.
so he said, yes, I did have LegalZoom, and that's the story. That's actually why all these things are happening. So at that point, I felt bad for him, since now the story is just like some kid who's in over his head and for some reason bought a company and a legal team. Then he said something. He was in some conversation with Drake, and then I had mentioned as like a rebuttal, like, wait, what are you talking about? You bought LegalZoom, so what you're saying doesn't make sense, considering we know that you bought LegalZoom. And then he was like, no, I didn't, dumbass.
Yeah.
He told me he did.
he
I think he
does that all the time where he just pretends he didn't say something that he did.
I think that's actually the thing he blocked me for. I think he actually
That's a
blocked
tight
me
move.
because I was, yeah, he's like the greatest CEO of all time. Then, I mean, this isn't related to the story. The story is over, but I don't know if we're gonna get the chance to mention this, but I think it's
I
funny.
think it'll come up because he's. I watched the first 45 seconds of this and I was already on the floor.
Oh, yeah,
I was
it-
already
it
raffling.
It might be in here, but I just want to mention it either way.
Yeah.
I think the highlight of the xanderbrand situation was when, in order to own Drake,
Own me.
he
Collar me.
he retweeted a fake pedophile allegation in defense of Lolicon with the caption like, what's this?
Yeah, literally like. That just happened.
Interesting.
Interesting. You channeled his Elon Musk there.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait. There's so much to get into.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my sequel video, and part of this is probably gonna get included. So I don't want to give away all this because we're gonna be here for an hour before we even get to the podcast. So I'm gonna let Aiden, 5 minutes. Tell us about Xander.
5 minutes is not enough time. But I met Xander in 8th grade at middle school.
It's so
And-
good that the catalyst of the story is literally just like you two knew each other from school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget
School.
that. Literally
Yeah,
just
knew
some
Xander from
guy.
school.
I used to live in
And
North Carolina.
Yeah, everybody hated Xander because he, well, not hated. Never mind, they did. They did hate.
They
Xander
did kind of
because
hate
he's-
Xander.
Yeah.
Didn't he cry
was-
because like he caused a misadministration in a class? Because
Well,
like
no,
his...
actually, okay, this is what happened. He actually got me in trouble with the police one time because
Ooh.
Oh,
he threatened whatever. He blew it out of proportion because he, got off on it or whatever. But he blew it out of proportion, and basically he was like threatened to strangle a fellow student, like literally strangle or something. But
He
he
said-
only said it on like Twitter or something, and so somehow the school found out. And the
So he
police
said
got
he wanted
involved.
to strangle someone, or he said you said that?
He said he wanted to strangle someone. And
Damn,
then I'm like, the
I've
witness,
not
like-
even heard this.
Yeah, I'm like a witness, right? And so he brings me in, or he like, he talks to the cops and he like, gives out some names of people. My name was one of them for some reason, and I had
That's
to go
funny
tell
as
the cops,
shit.
like,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I had to go tell the cops like, no, look, I mean, Xander's not gonna strangle this kid. And then I let that
Was he on-
school. I didn't talk to him for like 3
Was he
years.
on Ambien?
Was he what?
Was he on Ambien? Is that what his excuse was?
Yeah, he was basically just like, oh, I didn't.
I thought the bitch was white! God damn it!
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all-time classic Roseanne Barr quote.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why I invited her to be on my game show.
Yeah.
Are we gonna start this?
Yeah, let's start this. I want to
Sure.
see the first
Let's
45 seconds I got you on the ground.
All right, here we
Yeah.
go. He just deletes it.
Today's episode of the Full Force Podcast, unfortunately,
The Full Force Podcast.
Yeah.
The Full Force Podcast.
Make sure we can hear it.
Oh, that's an idea. Okay, I gotta do it like this weird way. Hang on.
Oh.
Alright, I gotta actually share my screen for it to work
Yeah.
like that. Alright, so tune into the stream there. Oh, and of course, that's...
The
There we go.
most well planned out podcast.
Well planned out podcast.
No, come on. Okay, there we go. It's fixed. Look at that. Alright,
Okay.
can you still see it?
I can
Yeah,
see.
we
Look at
did.
Yes.
Alright, here we go.
hello everyone. Today's episode of the Full Force Podcast, unfortunately,
The Full Force Podcast.
The Fool's Force.
That's a fool's errand you got there. That's a fool's force.
Foolish samurai. You called me a pedophile.
had to be postponed due to legal clearances.
It's
Um,
that's not the stream, by the way. That's still his rendering, being like all broken and shit. He's
Wait,
still.
wasn't this recorded? Wasn't this recorded before it was postponed?
This was recorded in October 2022. So this was
postponed after.
yeah, it was postponed after
it was recorded.
after it was recorded.
But he says it in the recording. Okay, I don't know why you would like care.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
I hate that it happened, but the Full Force Podcast is back. It's right here for you guys to see, and my content on my channel is going to be back up and running soon. I had to.
He uploaded what, like 3 short films and then quit again. He's like, I'm focusing on Midpoint Americana.
He
And
uploaded
then with
body.
his butt-ass
He
naked
uploaded
body.
and then he was like, "Oh, I can't top that."
That's his magnum opus, really, honestly.
Yeah.
So he can't work on it. That makes sense. I get that. Why is this here? Do you see what I'm talking about? You could easily mask that out.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, he tried to green screen it, and obviously, he couldn't green screen because the green screen's already bad. It's it's a bed sheet, right?
Yeah.
It's just a curtain, and so it wouldn't do the whole way. So he added a little generator, solid color effect on the
Yeah.
side of the screen.
Oh, like
I
Zoom?
think-
Basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think we have a new contender for the most well planned out podcast.
Of course. So what's his shirt here? Did he get a Bing sponsorship? He's landed it?
I have no idea.
That's a Bang Bros t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Them bros,
legal
yeah.
experts,
Sponsor for this
attorneys,
Legal
and
experts,
get
attorneys.
IP clearance, get clearance in these videos. This video would be all
IP clearance. There's no
Why
way
does
in...
he- It's a YouTube podcast about a YouTube fucking okay.
Yeah.
No, The only IPs are the ones that you think you'd need to have, which you don't.
He thinks he owns the depravity because he gave me money at some point. That's like, you know, you go to, that's how, you know, that makes sense. It's like when you go to the store and you buy a Coke, you own Coca-Cola, right?
Yeah. Or you give
yeah.
a Coke to your friend, and then you own their house.
And I had to get basically a lot of like trial prep in case things are to go to lawsuits and whatnot.
Trial prep.
Basically like a
Yeah, it's so
Oh my
funny.
God.
pre-suit prep, and it was very aggregating.
Aggregating! What the fuck?
Aggregating.
Come on!
It was so bad I had to pull multiple things together.
Yeah. It's so annoying when you have to group things
Yeah.
by category.
Also, does he seriously think that you have or want to sue him?
I mean, if he was gonna fucking keep copyright striking me, like, what else? I don't know, would it even be worth it? Like, these are questions that I had to think about at the time, but he released it, so who cares? But what?
Yeah.
I think what he's talking about is not, like, depravity being copyright striked. What he's talking about is me saying, like, that he copyright striked it for defamation and shit. So his intention was to try and sue me for defamation. That never came to be, because like he was like, I'm gonna do further legal action if you keep going down the road you're going down, pal. And then I kept going down it, and then nothing
How
happened.
does someone do these things and like say that I'm going to do this in their mind and not like realize?
How do you
know,
hear your
how,
like? Can he hear himself?
It literally
Like,
turns them on.
I had to. I think his parents enable this because I messaged them on Facebook and I was like, "Hey, your son's like acting like a psychopath." Never heard back, so maybe it's because it was a stranger on Facebook. But
Yeah.
Very time consuming in addition to
very tum consuming. He had an upset tummy. he had to keep popping tums, you know.
Yeah. Your defamation was so bad it gave him indigestion, dude.
millions of things that I am currently working on.
Millions of things. He's not exaggerating with that. I'm sorry, I have to keep pausing because
No.
like he's not exaggerating at all. Millions of things he's working on.
But I'm
There's
back.
body
I'm
2,
right here
body
with
3,
you
body
guys.
4.
Body 3, let the bodies hit the floor.
I'm going to talk about the legal situation in this episode, but I wanted to just get to make an intro to tell
Naked
you guys
intro.
what's going on and why this episode has been postponed.
Not much of a
In case-
naked intro to me. He doesn't know words. Like before, well, the thing about Xander is that like when he used to talk, I used to think like, okay, he can actually talk pretty fluently. Like before, that was like the one thing that I thought was like sort of a talent that he had. He doesn't even have that anymore. The
He's
full
got his
force.
script to the right of his arm, man.
Oh,
That's his
that is his
script.
script. That's so funny. That is his
Yeah.
script. Good eye. Good eye. Good eye.
It's just been sitting there. He's not gonna move it.
I cannot move this.
I can't move my script. I don't know what to say. I read it all
Yeah.
down. If I go off the
I
script,
have
then
no
I'm gonna get
charisma, so I have
demonetized.
to write down
Yeah.
everything I say.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
we do, right? Like you have your script ready. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
You did not hear about all of the illegal drugs.
That. What the fuck? What the
Oh
hell?
my god, dude.
His intro is so. That didn't even. That came out of nowhere. That came out of no. Yeah, Xander jump scare. But
Bro,
look
I
at
can
this.
sue him for epilepsy, man.
Literally, look at this.
Epileptic.
Don't look at this, actually.
Don't look at this. This is like Electroporygon. This is bringing down the stream. It's so much louder than the rest of it. Do you think this is going to have a 5-minute segment of coming up before it starts? Are we taking bets on that?
It will. No, I'm sure it will. Most definitely.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the.
God damn it, dude. You're so fucking... Come on. Like, how do you not know? That's...
Welcome back, guys.
How does he not know?
You think he knows?
What's the point of that flashing intro?
It's a flashy intro.
It's to get the attention of the kiddies out there.
The attention of the epileptics.
Attention.
Force podcast. We are on.
I forgot that his intro's like that.
Of the
Episode
And it's still
2.
in that-
Episode 2. We're averaging what? 1 episode per year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good start.
He's got millions of other
taste.
things to work on, Drake.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem.
Of course.
He doesn't have any time.
of the independent podcast. I kind of like the camera angle.
This is the independent podcast. It says It says full force. I thought this was the Full Force podcast.
Weaselly
I've never
the
heard of the
liar, dude.
Independent Xander podcast before.
He's a lying
We're
piece
on
of
this
shit.
one. I have a really crappy camera that I used for the last episode.
But this is so much
in addition
better.
to that crappy camera, I also have been having a lot of technical glitches on my channel.
So he's admitted to this. Because when I pointed this out before, he was like, have you not heard of storytelling? He was trying to act like it was intentional.
What, his shitty camera was intentionally for...
The rendering was fucked up, and he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's on purpose. That's by design."
The rendering
Trying to do it like
glitches
the
really added a
Snyder
lot
cut.
of atmosphere and narrative to his hour-long, very boring vlog.
Of course. I like that he included a segment. There's "Oh, I gotta go to my sister's baby shower or whatever," and then he's like, I'm gonna film it, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm not gonna film it for privacy reasons." He's got his fucking address on the internet. He's got his first, last, and middle name, all of his family on his Facebook and shit, and on his website for elect Joseph Alexander Simpson when he wants to become president in fucking 20 years.
His house address is on his TV show he wants to make.
Yes, his house address. He publishes his house address, and he's like, "Oh, the privacy." No, there was no privacy. You just didn't want to. You felt some level of shame in trying to record these most menial things for your stupid show. There's shit that goes down in being Xander. He'd be grocery run time, and then it'll show him getting in the backseat of his mom's car, and then that's it. We don't see the grocery.
Yes.
He's fucking blue-balling us with the groceries. Are we gonna get back on that?
Bro.
Release the grocery cart.
Release the groceries.
It's because he won't film inside of a store unless he has permission. Genuine
What a
permission.
dumbass. Actually, that
Yeah.
shit infuriates
He
me
won't
even.
film. He won't take a selfie on the sidewalk unless the mayor approves it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's funny that he's
Well, he wants to make sure he's not breaking the law.
Yeah. he touts himself as a CEO, but I don't think there's any other CEO that would be "Oh, my sister said I couldn't vlog."
Yeah. I think he tries to channel himself into these boxes of being official with shit, when the stuff that he does to try and make himself seem more official make himself look less official. A real person that actually goes and makes content is okay, we need to film inside of a grocery store. I want to make sure I get permission for it. They just fucking film it. That's how it's done. You don't know shit about content creation. That's how it works. Damn.
Film until you get kicked out of the store, and that's just what happens.
Literally, yeah. Go to a different store.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
There is a clear and what will be later obvious reason for this. But yeah, we are here.
Here and now.
Ca-
Do you remember the xanderbrand is here and now?
I do.
That was a good video. That was a good
Who's
time.
this person?
So this is him again. This is him.
This man.
This is the 4th time that he's been back. Xander is back. Because
No,
he'll-
he's been back every month, bro.
Guess who's back? Back.
Because everybody's waiting for him to come back.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He's I was talking with a friend of mine. I was about to say his name, but he's explicitly said that he doesn't want to be associated with Xander at all. That when he was coming back